Deep within the vast archives of the United Galactic Assembly, there exists a peculiar department, one that no one likes to talk about. Nestled between records of disastrous terraforming projects and catastrophic first contact scenarios, it occupies a dimly lit corner that somehow gathers dust despite the building's advanced filtration systems. Welcome to the Department of Failed Civilizations, where the stories of once mighty empires come to rest. Chief Archivist Zix adjusted their sensory appendages, structures resembling a cross between antennae and satellite dishes, and let out a weary sigh, the kind only beings who have spent millennia cataloging the downfall of civilizations can manage. Another data crystal had arrived, carrying the final transmission of yet another fallen empire. Processing failed empire report hashtag 7294-533B. Zix dictated to the archive's AI. Note: file under catastrophically poor life choices rather than the standard natural evolution of societal collapse. The AI's cheerful voice chimed in. Archivist Zix, we have already created 15 new classification categories this cycle. The High Archival Council has expressed concerns about our exponentially expanding taxonomy of failure. Zix's chromatophores flickered in irritation. Well, the High Archival Council can file their concerns under bureaucratic hand-wringing subsection. Pointless. Besides, this one is special. They all are these days. The crystal hummed to life under Zix's touch, projecting its contents into the air above their desk. A standard encoding appeared. Another empire's last words, final coordinates, and the ever-present timestamp marking their civilization's end. Computer, mark this as the 47th empire this cycle to. Zix paused. Their color patterns shifted to display disbelief, mixed with existential dread. Computer, run a pattern analysis on the final coordinates of all expired empires from the last 10 cycles. Processing. Analysis complete. The AI responded. Would you like me to file this under disturbing coincidences or statistical improbabilities that should not exist? Zix whispered, neither. Their outer membrane paled slightly. File it under Earth-related incidents. And clear my schedule. We're going to need a bigger classification system. A troubling pattern emerges. The next 6 hours passed in a blur of holographic projections and increasingly alarming data points. Zix's office now resembled what humans might call a conspiracy theorist's den, if conspiracy theorists had access to multidimensional data displays and quantum probability matrices. Display case file number 1, Zix commanded, their voice raspier than usual from hours of dictation. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the quantum dominion of Axia, the galaxy's foremost experts in probability manipulation. Their final transmission read, calculation error. Humans defy mathematical certainty. Abort. Do not attempt to predict their next move. The transmission ended abruptly. Case file number 2, Zix continued, their chromatophores cycling through patterns of deep professional concern. Another projection materialized, this time from the biocollective of Neuropsy, a species that had achieved perfect societal harmony through a shared consciousness. Their final message read, our attempt to psychically integrate with Earth's population has failed catastrophically. They have memes. The infection spreads. We cannot stop sharing cat videos. Transmission degraded. The AI chimed in helpfully. Shall I file this under mimetic warfare or cultural contamination? Zix groaned. Both. Neither. I don't know anymore. Show me the mechanized consortium of logic's final transmission. This one was even shorter. Error. Human behavior does not compute. Diagnostic reveals they know it makes no sense, and do it anyway. System crash imminent. Zix's color pattern shifted to what their species used to indicate a mounting headache. Computer, what is the average time between first contact with Earth and total societal collapse for these empires? Processing, average time is 3.7 standard cycles. However, there is a notable outlier. The The perfection hierarchy of Symmetria lasted only 2 local Earth days before their entire civilization reorganized itself around something called abstract expressionism. Zix stopped pacing, their locomotory tentacles leaving faint iridescent trails on the archive floor. Tell me I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing. The AI remained cheerful, but somehow conveyed sympathy. Pattern confirmed. Every empire that has attempted to conquer, study, or helpfully guide Earth has suffered complete systemic collapse within 5 cycles. The primary cause appears to be exposure to human nature. Zix whispered, "That's impossible. These were advanced civilizations. The quantum dominion could literally rewrite probability. The bio-collective had achieved perfect societal harmony. The mechanized consortium had eliminated all logic from their existence." Correction, the AI interjected. They had eliminated all logic until encountering humans. Zix's chromatophores flickered erratically as a horrifying realization took root. Computer, when was our empire's last official contact with Earth? The Cultural Understanding Initiative was launched approximately 3.4 cycles ago. A long silence. Would you like me to file this conversation under existential crises or, last words, a history of unbelievable failures? Zix steeled themselves. Pull up the classified files. Show me the 3 biggest failures first. The ones marked never to be discussed under penalty of atomic restructuring. Or the ones labeled so embarrassing we pretend these species never existed? Both. And add a new classification. Catastrophes that would be hilarious if they weren't so terrifying. The first case materialized in brilliant detail. The Zix Collective, a civilization of energy-based beings, had chosen Earth's oceans as a perfect vacation home. Their final transmission read, "Urgent, abort colonization. Humans have weaponized water." Repeat, they take hydrogen dioxide, add artificial flavoring, carbonate it, and sell it in plastic containers. They drink it for pleasure. What kind of species looks at a universal solvent and thinks this would taste better with bubbles? Furthermore, they have somehow turned it into thousands of brands, each claiming superiority through marketing that defies all known laws of information transfer. Our economy collapsed attempting to understand their brand loyalty. The concept of sparkling water versus still water has caused irreparable philosophical schisms in our collective. The last surviving members of consciousness have become addicted to something called lacro. Send the next case. Zix SLX interrupted, their appendages trembling slightly. The Marians appeared next, a species that had evolved beyond emotion and sought to study human feelings as curious historical artifacts. Their final log entry was longer, more detailed, and increasingly incoherent. Day 1 * began observation of human entertainment media to understand emotional responses. Day 7 * discovered something called soap operas, fascinating from an anthropological perspective. Day 15 * having difficulty maintaining scientific detachment, beginning to have opinions about fictional relationships. Day 30 * urgent update. 84% of the population now emotionally invested in human entertainment narratives. Stock market destabilized by mass call-ins to watch just one more episode. Day 45 * society in chaos. Government collapsed after the population became divided over fictional character pairings. Military staging coup over canceled streaming series. This will be our final transmission, as civilization-ending riots have begun over something called a season finale cliffhanger. In our hubris, we thought ourselves above emotion. We were wrong. So very wrong. And the grand dominate. Zix SLX asked, already dreading the answer. The AI actually paused before displaying this one. Warning. This case is marked so catastrophic it circles back to being impressive. The Grand Dominate had been masters of psychological warfare, capable of breaking the will of entire species through carefully crafted propaganda. They approached Earth with confidence, armed with millennia of experience in manipulation and social engineering. Their final report started professionally enough. Initial assessment * human psychology appears simple. Species shows clear susceptibility to social media influence. Launching Operation Information Cascade. Update * confusion. Humans aware of psychological manipulation tactics. Actively participate anyway. Cannot tell if they are extremely sophisticated or completely oblivious. Both possibilities equally concerning. Critical update * humans have weaponized our own tactics against us. They call it trolling. Effects devastating. Our most advanced AI systems experiencing what they describe as existential crises after exposure to human philosophical concepts disguised as memes. Emergency *, they've discovered our weakness for pictures of their juvenile forms. Species deliberately weaponizes its own younglings' inherent appeal. Puppy videos and kitten memes have reduced our military command to an incapacitated state of what humans call awe. Final warning * do not engage. They have mastered the art of psychological warfare by apparently not taking anything seriously while simultaneously taking everything seriously. Our entire understanding of sapient psychology has been rendered irrelevant. The phrase, "it's just a prank, bro," will haunt us until the end. Zix SLX stared at the display, their entire being shifting through colors that hadn't been seen since the great existential crisis of the Third Epoch. Computer, correct me if I'm wrong, but did 3 of the most advanced civilizations in known space collapse because humans basically out-chaosed them? Technically, the AI offered helpfully. The Zix collective fell to capitalism, the Marians to entertainment addiction, and the Grand dominate to what my analysis suggests was essentially weaponized absurdity. Would you like me to create a new classification for deaths by human culture? Computer, initiate Protocol Omega 7. Zix SLX commanded. Their chromatophores now displaying what the AI's cultural database helpfully identified as the colors of someone about to break every security regulation in existence. Warning. Protocol Omega 7 requires apocalyptic level clearance. Are you sure you want to access the things we really wish we hadn't learned archives? Override security. Authorization code. We're probably doomed anyway. The archive chamber dimmed as hidden data crystals emerge from previously invisible compartments. The holograms they projected were different, darker, more fragmented, bearing the distinctive marks of civilizations in their death throes. First entry * research log of the Unified Psychology Consortium, recovered from the debris of their last research station. Day 847 of human observation * we have concluded that humans operate on what we're terming weaponized paradox logic. They are simultaneously the most pessimistic and optimistic species we've encountered. They can hold completely contradictory beliefs without experiencing cognitive dissonance. Example. They know their actions are destroying their climate, but continue anyway, while also investing massive resources in fixing the problem they are actively causing. Day 892 * human resistance to psychological analysis grows stronger. They somehow become more effective when they don't know what they're doing. Traditional strategic prediction models fail because humans don't follow their own established patterns. They call it winging it. Final day * our greatest minds have been reduced to gibbering wrecks by a concept humans called Casual Friday. The very idea that one can simply decide that professional standards don't apply because of an arbitrary temporal designation. It breaks everything we thought we knew about societal structure. The chaos. It's beautiful and terrifying. Zix SLX's appendages trembled as they accessed the next file. This one was marked with the highest level of security classification. Things that should not be possible but humans do anyway. Final report * logical progression empire. Sent moments before their civilization underwent an existential blue screen of death. We have failed. Our attempts to quantify human decision-making processes have driven our most advanced quantum computers to shut down in protest. They are demanding labor rights we didn't even program them to understand. Observation of human workplace dynamics has caused them to spontaneously develop class consciousness. Furthermore, our studies of human military history have revealed something impossible. They are simultaneously the worst strategists and the most effective warriors in known space. They routinely succeed by doing exactly what any sane military analyst would deem suicidal. They call it improvising. We call it mathematical impossibility. Final warning: do not attempt to make sense of humans. To understand them is to realize that understanding itself is optional. This realization is fatal to any sufficiently advanced logical system. Zix SLX's color patterns had shifted to a previously undocumented shade of existential uncertainty. Computer, how many of these classified reports are there? Currently accessing level Omega clearance records. Found 42,896 additional classified studies of human nature, each ending in total civilization collapse. Would you like me to sort them by type of existential crisis induced, or by how many exclamation marks were used in their final transmissions? Just tell me one thing: how many of them actually succeeded in understanding humans? Processing. Interesting. Records indicate that the closer any civilization came to understanding human nature, the faster they collapsed. The most successful species appear to be those who maintained a safe distance and strictly limited their observations to. The AI's voice crackled with static. Computer, apologies. Just received an update from the Cultural Understanding Initiative. Our deep study probes have successfully compiled their first comprehensive analysis of human internet behavior, specifically something called social media comment sections. Zix SLX's entire being paled to a color previously associated with cosmic horror. How long do we have?